Now let's go to Roz. Roz, once again, is the Chief Operating Officer of Chicken of the Sea. Since 2013, he plans and he manages the operations for the San Diego-based company. Formerly, he was with Boston Consulting Group, specializing in consumer goods and corporate transformations. David also served our nation in the Air Force as an F-16 fighter pilot, topped that one. And so here to talk to us about philanthropy and sustainability and how his own company is celebrating their centennial by paying it forward. Thank you for serving our country. Let's give David a warm welcome.
Thank you. I'm super nervous. I actually really don't like speaking in front of people very much, so I apologize ahead of time. But I'm not as nervous as a couple people back here. There's Bob back there. So Bob's one of my handlers. Where our company works with DGWB, and we have a campaign this year that we're doing. We're celebrating our 100-year anniversary, and we've been on media, national media. We kicked off the tour on Fox and Friends, and Bob gets more nervous than I am right now because his entire metric of success for whether or not the talk goes well is if I don't drop the F-bomb on national TV. Because having been a fighter pilot, right, like this is a versatile word. It can be a verb, a noun, an adverb, an adjective. And so I will apologize ahead of time and try not to do that. But so, yeah, there's the wine. Corporate social responsibility. So this year we are 100 years old, Chicken of the Sea. And we launched a campaign we call 100 Years of Good. So when I first joined the company, we're an Asian-run company. Our parent company is Thai, and our CEO is one of the Thai family members. So as COO, I basically get to run the thing, which is a ton of fun. But when I came on board, I asked, okay, so what are we going to do for our 100 years? And the answer was, well, we're going to have a Rose Bowl parade float, and we're going to have some commercials and maybe some magazine ads. And I said, that's awful. We're not going to, no, we can't do that. Because ever since I've been a kid, I've been like, you know, companies have spent all this money talking about themselves and commercials. Like, what a waste of money. We should do something cooler and better. And I didn't know what cooler and better was. And we had this wonderful woman in our company. Her name's Erin, who unfortunately can't be here tonight. She goes, we're going to pay it forward. I'm like, okay, what does it mean? She goes, well, we're just going to give away $1 million this next year. You know, we're going to tour the country. The Mermaid's going to go around the country. We're going to give away $1 million. I said, great. So I go to my board. Now, Chicken of the Sea, Asian-run company, Chicken of the Sea, before I joined, lost consecutively $3, $5, and $8 million net profit loss. So I go to my board and I say, okay, so here's the thing. We're going to give away $1 million next year. I know we lost $3 last year. We're going to give away $1 million. And my Asian CEO, who reminds me sort of he reminds me of The Godfather. He looks at me and he goes, I'm sorry, one more time, please. I said, we're going to give away $1 million. That's our marketing campaign next year, and we convinced him to do it. And Bob and the rest of the DGWB crowd has helped us do that. So you ask why that is. So corporate social responsibility. So 3 points I'll make. Should you do corporate social responsibility? The answer is you don't even have a choice. You have to as a modern company. Right? So what is corporate social responsibility? The answer, not philanthropy. You want to do philanthropy, go to work for the Gates Foundation or the US government or something like that. Go some altruistic thing. But a company, as she was saying, has to make money. And so CSR is part of a profitable company. It's part of what you need to do. And the third thing is, how do you do it? And to her point, 80 different metrics out there. People ask, oh, what's corporate social responsibility? It's actually really complicated. Or it's not. It's actually quite simple. Just do the right thing. Embed it in the DNA of your company. That's how you do it. So let me go through each of those points. So do you do corporate social responsibility? Have to. Not even a choice anymore, right? So Adam Smith writes in 1776, Wealth of Nations, he's got this phrase in there, which he actually stole from somebody, which is, there's a giant hand which moves companies to do the right thing in a capitalist society, right? And what's happened in the last 10, 20, 30 years is that this giant hand has told all of us companies, you have to do this. We require this from you. And it's because each of you out there wants the companies that you buy from, whether it's a Prius, or anything else to do the right thing, right? You want us to do this. You require us to do this. 50 years ago, it was fine. You could just buy a good because it was of quality, it was at the right price point, that was good enough. But that was 50 years ago. Today, a company has to do the right thing on top of that. Not just because you as a consumer want that, or whether it's a television company or a consumer product goods company or whatever, but you want to work at that company too, right? Young people today don't just want to get up for a paycheck, they want to know that they made a difference in the world, right? And so our campaign this year, 100 Years of Good, we've given away $1 million. This has been the funnest thing ever. So we've given away one $10,000 award 100 times to organizations all around the country that are doing the right thing. We think they're paying it forward, so we're giving them $10,000 to enable them to pay it forward even further. There's some folks in the back of the room there that have been helping us do this, and I tell you, it makes me excited. I think it makes them excited. But it's done this amazing thing at our company where the folks at our company, the young people in particular, get up in the morning and go, wow, we're actually doing something cool. We don't just make tuna fish anymore. We're actually trying to change the world a little bit at a time. It's only $1 million. It's not a lot, but it's 3 times what we lost last year. That's a good thing. Interestingly, we made $10 million this year. So while we lost 3 last year, we made 10 this year while we're giving away $1 million, which I think is a good business case. So do you have to do it? Absolutely. So the second question is, okay, so what exactly is this corporate social responsibility? Because people will talk about it. They'll say diversity this or sustainability that. To me, it's really simple. Corporate social responsibility is just being a good corporate citizen, right? We're citizens, right? We require each other to actually act decently with one another, right? First 2 words you teach your children, what are they? Please and thank you, right? If a kid asks you for something, right, what do you immediately correct him to do if he just says, give me the book? Please. As soon as he gives it to you, thank you. That's all corporate social responsibility is. It's saying please and thank you at a corporate level, right? Being part of society, being a good citizen. So for us, please and thank you came into 2 distinct buckets. Please. It's our sustainability report, right? Please, right, is a contract that you have with the rest of the society which says, I'm not going to take more than I should, right? If I take it, I'm going to be thankful that I took it. I'm going to make sure that it's going to be there for another 100 years, right? So we're a tuna fish company, right? It's wild-caught fish. We work really hard at making sure sustainability is important, right? Because we want to make sure that 100 years from now, when we're celebrating our 200-year anniversary, there actually is still tuna fish, right? So that's the please. The thank you is what we've done with this $1 million, right? We've got great consumers who've let us become this great brand over 100 years who continue to buy our products. So our thank you is simple, right? Go pay it forward, make the world a better place. So to me, corporate social responsibility doesn't have to be that complicated, right? Just it's the same thing we teach our kids, right, that we expect from each other. It's just being a great corporate citizen. So then the harder part becomes the last point, which is how do you do it? How do you do it? I had a great conversation with Mike, who's very passionate about the value center. I had always used the word before I came here tonight that you just put it in the DNA of the company. You make the people believe this. But he uses a better word, which I like, which is the value. It becomes a value of the company, right? And so everything we do now at Chicken of the Sea is based around this value that we are a part of society. When we're going to be a good corporate citizen, we're going to give back. And we work really hard at making sure that the people in our company believe that, right? So a year ago when we kicked out this program, I thought this was so fun. It was almost a year ago exactly that we kicked this off. So I don't even think we talked to DGWB at this point, and I said, look, we're going to do this 100 Years of Good, Pay It Forward campaign. This mermaid's going to go around the country. She's going to give out $10,000 awards, pay it forward. But you know what? That's a gimmick unless we actually believe it, right? That's some marketing ploy, right? That's, some challenge that's getting a lot of publicity. So I need us to believe it. So I challenged everybody in the company to go out and do a Pay It Forward act in the month of October last year. And I said, we're going to have a town hall. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about what happened, like what did people do. And what people did was amazing. Right? We had our entire supply chain went out and decided, you know what, we're going to take tuna fish sandwiches and we're going to make them for homeless people in San Diego. And they passed them out and did it, and it's become so popular that now like half the company, like every other month, goes downtown in San Diego and gives out tuna fish sandwiches. We've had all these other things that the company does now. So every month we have a Pay It Forward award. So literally there's a coin box where everyone goes, you know, this person has paid it forward in our company. And we recognize people not for their accomplishment, not for what they've made, not for all the other things, just for being a good citizen within our company, right? And it's helped us, right? We went from the little train that couldn't, right, losing millions of dollars a year, to a company that suddenly goes, you know what, actually this isn't that hard, we can make money. And if we make more money, we'd be able to do more of this stuff, right? We would be able to give back to society more, be a better corporate citizen. So, you know, there's lots and lots and lots of different ways that we've done this, but to me it's you know, quite simple, right? Corporate social responsibility, have to, not a choice anymore, right? And then, you know, what is it? It's not philanthropy, right? It's the right way to run a company. Not because it's the right thing to do, right? People will say that, oh, it's the right thing to do. If you want to do the right thing, donate to a nonprofit. Corporate social responsibility is a better way to run a company today. People expect it. You expect it. You expect to work there. You want to work there. You want to buy their products. And the third thing is just put it in the DNA of the company, make it part of your value system, and it will just take care of itself, right? Sorry. That's it.
All right. What a great story. Thank you, Ross. Great story, right? You know, it reminds me, and once again, getting back to this concept of that we call it different things, but I think that which you said, that you have to, you don't have a choice. It reminds me, for example, every day in what we do. You know, we work with the banking industry. The banking industry is critical of, so that we can put money into the hands of small businesses so they can grow, so they can go international, so they can do whatever it is that they want to do. And we have a system, a concept, a structure, if you will, that is built into the banking industry that participate in our programs called CRA. And that is making a difference every single day. We have a network of women's business centers, of small business development centers throughout our region, throughout the United States. SCORE chapters, you probably have heard of SCORE. What a great example of giving back. But that money is invested into our programs, into our conferences, into all the great things that I think that our agency does. But you know what? It doesn't happen unless I go out there and not beg, but ask and demand it to some degree. Now, the lawyers have not been very happy with me, as you can imagine, in a government agency, but it has not stopped me. But I think that once you start asking, they know it's the right thing to do. So I think that's a great message, Ross, that especially those of you in the industry, as you plan, as you create that strategy with your clients, know that that's the right thing to do. So thank you very much for that story once again, Ross.